It's 2026. Your paycheck hits. You do the 50-30-20 thing like a good little saver. Rent eats 50%. Fun money takes 30%. You toss 20% in the savings and call it adulting. 3 months later, your car dies. Your savings covers the tow truck, not the car. You put $4,200 on a credit card at 29% APR. That perfect budget rule just cost you a year of interest. The 50-30-20 rule was built in 2005 when rent was $900 and eggs weren't $6 a dozen. In 2026, it's not just outdated, it's broke. And if you're still using it, your money's bleeding out. Here's why it doesn't work anymore and what I actually use instead. The 50-30-20 rule is the crux of personal finance. It made sense for a minute. It was easy. Everyone recommended it. Now it looks ridiculous and it's kind of painful. Elizabeth Warren pushed it in 2005. The math was clean. 50% of after-tax income to needs, housing, food, transport, minimum payments. 30% to wants, dining out, streaming, that gym membership you swear you'll use. 20% to savings and extra debt payments. Back then, median rent was $949. Median income was $46,326. You could actually do 50% for needs. You add wiggle room. It's 2026. Let's run today's numbers, no fluff. Median U.S. take-home pay right now is around $4,200 a month. Depends on your state, but that's the ballpark. Median rent for a one-bedroom just crossed $1,700 in most metros. In San Diego, Austin, Miami, forget it. Try $2,200. That's already 40 to 52% of take-home, just rent. We haven't bought groceries. Gas is $4.10. Car insurance jumped 26% since 2023. Health insurance deductible? Don't even get me started. Your needs category isn't 50% anymore. It's 65 to 75% if you live in any city with jobs. The rule breaks before you even get to wants. So what do people do? They steal from the 20%. Savings becomes 8%, then 4%, then I'll catch up next month. Next month never comes. Then the water heater explodes. Here's the uncomfortable math nobody says out loud. The rule assumes your biggest expense is fixed. It's not. In 2026, your biggest expense is volatility. Prices don't just go up, they spike. Tuition, insurance, car repairs, medical bills. The Fed calls it disinflation. Your Visa bill calls it yikes. 50-30-20 gives you zero defense against lumpy expenses. It treats money like it comes in smooth, predictable waves. Real life hits like a dodgeball to the face. Fast, random, leaves a mark. Let me show you how this actually plays out. Take two people. Both make $70K gross. That's $4,400 take-home per month. Person A uses 50-30-20. Needs $2,200. Rent $1,800. Utilities $200. Groceries $300. Gas $150. Already over. They cut groceries. Wants $1,320. They spend it because the rule said they could. Savings $880. Except they had to pull $250 from it to cover rent. So $630. Month 4, their transmission dies, $3,100. Savings has $2,400. The rest goes on a card at 28.9% APR. That $700 gap now costs $202 a year just to stay broke. Person B runs a different system. We'll get to that. Same income, same rent, but they don't pretend wants get 30% because that's fantasy land. The hype around 50-30-20 is that it's simple. Simple doesn't mean correct. Duct tape is simple. It's not a suspension bridge. The reality is worse. The rule trains you to feel guilty about the wrong thing. You feel bad for canceling Netflix. You don't feel bad that your fixed costs eat 70% of your income. You're optimizing the 5% while the 70% robs you blind. And banks love this. You know why? Because 50-30-20 keeps you liquid enough to make minimum payments, but broke enough to need credit. It's a hamster wheel with a Peloton subscription. So, what do I use instead in 2026? I call it the 1585 floor. Flip the priority. You don't start with spending, you start with defense. Step 1, pay your floor first. The floor is 15% of gross income minimum into a volatility fund. Not your cute vacation fund, not your Roth. This is war cash, car repair, medical deductible, job gap. It's boring, it's untouchable. You fund this before rent. Yes, before rent, because if you can't cash flow a $2,000 emergency, your rent isn't safe anyway. 15% of $70K is $10,500 a year, $875 a month. That stings. Good, it should. Step 2, the 85% is everything else. Rent, food, debt, fun, all of it. But inside that 85%, you rank by killability. Killable expenses are things you can nuke in 24 hours without life collapse. Subscriptions, takeout, DoorDash, golf. Non-killable are rent, insurance, medicine. Every month, your job is to shrink the non-killable slice. Negotiate rent, refinance the car, move, get a roommate. If your non-killables are over 60% of take-home, you don't have a budgeting problem. You have an income or housing problem. No percentage rule fixes that. Only new decisions do. Step 3, the pressure test. Every quarter, you fake a $3,000 emergency. Can your system survive without debt? If not, your budget is cosplay. 50-30-20 fails this test for 63% of Americans in 2026. Fed data, not my opinion. The irony is, the people who need 50-30-20 the most are the ones it hurts the most. If you make $45K in Phoenix, your needs are already 70%. The rule tells you to save 20%. You can't, you fail, you quit. If you make $250K in Ohio, you can do 50-30-20 easily, but you don't need it. You already won. So the rule is either impossible or irrelevant. That's not a tool. That's a participation trophy. Zoom out. The bigger risk isn't that you budget wrong. It's that these rules teach you to measure the wrong metric. We track percentages like we're grading homework. Finance isn't homework, it's survival. In 2026, your risk isn't overspending on lattes. It's underestimating how fast a single event can wipe 6 months of 20% savings. One ER visit, one layoff, one AC unit. The system is built on fragility. 50-30-20 adds to it by giving you permission to stay fragile. So the 1585 floor isn't sexy. It doesn't give you guilt-free fun money. It gives you something better, slack. Slack means when your brake pads go, you don't meet a banker, you meet a mechanic, and you go home. I'm not here to tell you to grind or hustle. I'm telling you the old map has the wrong roads. 2005 is gone. Rent isn't 28% of income anymore. Your budget has to assume chaos because chaos is the default. Last thing, run your numbers tonight. Take your real take-home, list your real non-killable expenses. What percent is already locked in before you even choose anything? If it's over 65%, 50-30-20 didn't fail you. You were never playing its game to begin with. So the question is, what are you gonna build?